Hey y'all, welcome to the Game Theory Podcast, episode 92.2. This is the part where we talk about the in-depth analysis portion. Why are PC ports so bad? Why are they so bad?
Yes.
I
So
don't get it, man.
this has been relevant in the news lately, especially with Batman Arkham Knight. But it's not the first PC port that's been bad.
I don't understand. Here's what I don't get. PCs are the longest running platform by far. Like, playing a game on a computer used to be the only way to play. And then, like, what's going on here? Why are they not being taken seriously?
Okay, so examples. Last year, Assassin's Creed Unity came out. On the PC, it was so buggy it was unplayable, which is hilariously problematic. Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare, Halo, Master Chief Collection. There's been we could go down the list. There's just been so many. They just come right out, and they're terrible.
Dude, actually, I was looking at a top 10 worst PC ports, and it's pretty funny. Like, a lot of the same problems. I won't have to go through all of them because some of them, aren't that big, like Enslaved. But the problems, a lot of it is like it was sloppy. Like, the menus feel like you should be using a controller, but when it comes to like the first-person shooter portion, you go to play it, and you have your preference. You like the keyboard and mouse if you're one of those types. So it just feels like you need to go back and forth, and that it just wasn't. It's like they didn't take it seriously. Like Resident Evil 4, did you know that has a PC port?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's bad, but it still feels like a Wii game.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah. Even Borderlands, the first one was a bad port because there was no that was one of those that felt weird, like navigating it without a controller. You were like, it was weird. You had to like click on the little corners where like clearly a right mouse button or right bumper button should have been. It's just wonky in general.
Yeah. So I blame this. There's an article that just came out on Kotaku called "Stop Pre-Ordering Video Games." I think that's a big problem in and of itself. So his main points in this article, this is by Luke Plunkett of Kotaku. He says, in the past, GameStop and Amazon, they figured out that you would pay for a game before it shipped, then you would avoid missing out, and then publishers would have a better idea of how many boxes to ship, right? Because you have these pre-orders. Yeah. It's like, oh, there's this many pre-orders, we can expect to ship this many, and we wouldn't have supply shortages. And then customers could guarantee they get a hold of the game because there was this whole kind of scarcity issue with physical games, right? Like, kind of the sold out sign. It's a 90s problem. And it was a good arrangement because for a while it worked, but then he says publishers and retailers realized that once a customer put their money down for a game that wasn't finished, that customer's already on the hook. And usually pre-ordering a game only costs a percentage of the final price, like you pay a small sum up front and then the rest when you pick up the game.
Yeah.
But maybe you want some sweet collector's edition swag, and so you're kind of a guaranteed sale. So now you pre-order games, you're paying the full price up front, and then you're already there. And he says this is a problem because used to be games would rely on word of mouth and video game reviews, right? Like a commercial can tell you something, but if your friends say it's kind of okay but it's broken and it kind of runs badly, you're going to go with your friend. And opinions can be bad for business. But pre-ordering kind of takes out of the equation. So you're making a commitment to purchase the game. Sometimes you're spending like $60 up front, and then there's no more incentive to make the game run smoothly when it comes out because that word of mouth issue's gone. So you look at Warner Brothers, how they did Arkham Knight. How much did you pay for your pre-order?
I think it's a full 60.
Yeah, it was a full 60, and then they were going to give you a Harley Quinn little quest at the beginning. But then they were like, okay, you know what? Everyone gets a Harley Quinn quest. And
it's not. There were some complaints about that because it wasn't that long. Like, it was just real. It was like it's like an intro scene. Yeah. And I feel like I know that here's the problem. Like, game development is supposedly, like, on launch week or whatever, it's supposed to be insane. I've heard that from like 3 different developers I know, or people in the development business. And they say that, whatever, it's a week or 2 weeks or something, but it's basically this horrific, because you shoot this projection like years out, and you're like, oh, we'd like to hit summer of 2015. And so they're like, like Arkham Knight guys were like, okay, let's shoot for that. But there's always, you can always add more to a video game to make it cooler, more polish or more extra DLC or skins or whatever. And so they're like, oh, they get these ideas and they start running with them, and then it's crunch time. Like then, like within the last few bits, you're like, oh, we have to deliver on all that. And the thing is nobody likes doing that, right? It's like sometimes people are there 24 hours a day, but it's usually like 16-hour days for maybe a month, right? And so nobody likes it. They're miserable. And so you have to have a huge incentive to make those people actually do those things as well as they need to, right? Like some sort of reinforcer that's huge. And previously it was money. It's like, well, if we don't do this, we won't get paid. All this will be for nothing. That would be the language they probably use for themselves. And now it's just not true. So like, I get it, and I'm sympathetic to the developers, but also you have to deliver on that product. Like, who was that? You who said that? I think that was you who said, like why is it that like video games are the only thing that you sell to someone like that's like buggy basically, and we're okay with it? Like,
right. Like if you bought a toaster that only worked 60% of the time, you would be upset. But you buy Assassin's Creed Unity and you're just going to pre-order the next one. Like, what incentive does Ubisoft have to improve their next game if people are already pre-ordering it, right? Like, why would Microsoft learn from their Halo Master Chief Collection if people are already pre-ordering Halo 5? Like, they've got no incentive to improve. Warner Brothers actually did something unusual because they actually took it off of Steam because it was so bad. Like, they must have been losing a lot of money on Steam refunds, which happened just before the launch. Like the ability to refund on Steam. I just don't get it, man. Like, these games are available digitally. There's no reason to like, we don't need these metrics anymore. Just stop pre-ordering. Like, you get exclusive pre-order goodies. Stop. Like the guy in the article, he says, like, the stuff you're getting with these collector's edition is not for collectors. It's junk. It's cheap figures and statues, useless trinkets, oversized boxes, half-assed art books. If you want to be a super fan, own some cool stuff, take the money you save by not buying a $100 to $200 collector's edition, go buy an actual art book, or hit up eBay for a fan-made blaster pistol or something. Like, I'm so upset with these pre-order bonuses and these pre-order exclusives. Like, pre-order from GameStop, get this exclusive. Pre-order from Amazon, get this exclusive. We're creating this problem of buggy games on launch, and then we're complaining about it. Like, companies are going to do what makes them money, so we have to vote with our dollars on this one.
That's a
and
good point.
even games where you feel safe pre-ordering, like Batman, like I would have felt if I had the money, I would have pre-ordered it too, because I'm like, oh well, this is a franchise that always works, like it's always been good, so I feel safe giving them my money up front. But even that kind of blew up on our faces with this PC.
I would have done the Borderlands too. The pre-sequel, and that got screwed. So I've lost my faith.
So just stop. You can buy things on launch day, but just wait and see what word of mouth is. Give them a reason to actually care if the games work when they come out. Because eventually they fixed Assassin's Creed Unity, and eventually they're going to fix Batman and make it a good PC port. But they had no incentive to do that.
Yeah, the worst part was the horrifying, like, whenever we talked about, or they were asked, like, how did this happen? Because it's so bad, and like, or how many problems they had just for the PC port. I mean, the console's glitchy too. There's a lot of like falling through the floors and doing stuff like that, but I didn't experience a lot of that. Mine, 100% of my frustration was with the frame rate issues and the fact that I had to turn down the graphics on a gorgeous game that I'm a graphics whore. That's why I have a next gen system or a computer, right? Like anyone who has next gen system,
essentially what you did was you have a next gen system. You have what a PS4 or an Xbox One. Like your PC is effectively that, but in order to play this game, you had to play it on Xbox 360 or PS3. Like you had to turn the graphics back down a generation to make it work.
Yeah, which sucks. And like, the game, I'm such a fan of those games that like I was able to clearly enjoy myself despite that. And I just really love those games. But I feel cheated. I feel like that shouldn't have been the case. And then why? When they were asked about it, they said, "How did this happen? How did this happen?" And they said, "Oh, well, we actually just outsourced our PC porting to a third party." And they were like, with no oversight. They're like, "No, we didn't have any oversight." And they were like, "What the fuck, Rocksteady? You can't do that. Like, this is insane. You can't just port it and be like, oh, they'll get it done." Like, I know there's incentive to, but there should be more incentive to make sure everything's polished. Which they don't
and as
have
long
right
as
now.
they already have your money, and this is why it's good that Steam started offering refunds, because I think they took enough of a financial hit. Like I know a lot of people got refunds on the Steam version of Batman Arkham Knight. So hopefully in the future they won't. They'll be more careful, but previously in the past, if you've pre-ordered it, they've already got you on the hook. You're gonna buy the game. So if it's buggy at launch, well, fuck you. You should have waited and seen how the reviews turned out.
Yep. Yeah, that's how I felt. I mean, like I didn't even. Well, I mean, I guess I bitched. Did I bitch? No, I didn't bitch anywhere because I kind of just slapped myself on the wrist. I was like, yeah, well, this is what I get for pre-ordering. Like, I don't know. What are you supposed to do? But I don't get it. Why that is there some? There must be some coding language or something that makes consoles your primary. Like, I feel like I don't know. You should make it for the PC and then port it to the consoles. And the reason why I say that is because I understand that there's incentives to do otherwise. But if you did that, that would allow for more consoles like Wii U to do well. Because if everybody makes their own like interfacing and does things innovative rather than an Xbox and a PS a PlayStation. Let's be completely honest. I'm a PlayStation fan, but let's be completely honest. They're basically the same thing, right? With very little changes. Like 99% of what the experience you're getting is going to be playing video games that you could have played on the other one, and the rest of it's going to be like overlays and interfacing and that kind of thing.
Right.
But like a Wii U, an Xbox could be totally different. Like a Wii U is from the other two, because if the PC was the cornerstone, because all you have to do for a PC is just develop it, and there's nothing special about it, just a mouse. It's just a graphical overlay.
Yeah, most people on the PC are using an Xbox controller anyway, so there really is, between an Xbox and a PC, it's the same thing with a different shell.
Yeah, so start there and then port it out to the unique systems, and because right now there's no incentive for PlayStation to come up with a radically new way to interface. I mean, look at the PS4 controller; it's exactly the same as PS3 with like a little thing, a little screen or something on it. And the Xbox 360, same thing. Ever since the Xbox One, they kind of figured out how to make a comfortable controller. 360 did better, but this one's basically the exact same thing, but the buttons look a little different. And that's just because they're going to do what they think works. They're not going to innovate if they don't have to. And or if they don't have an opportunity to, because look at Wii U dying out there because it was innovative. So I don't know. I think it is a problem. It's a PC porting, dude. Come on, we're not the redheaded stepchild, man. We're the old school, man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
frustrating.
It is frustrating. It feels like they just don't care about an entire demographic. And I don't know where their profit centers are. Maybe there's just more people playing Batman Arkham Knight on their Xbox Ones and on the PC, but you're definitely not helping your margins if you're alienating those people who are playing it on Steam.
I should look that up. Let me see. Arkham Knight. What is it? What would you call that? Like sales demographics or something?
Yeah, like platform sales by platform.
There you go. By platform.
It just kind of, and again, we really only have ourselves to blame. Like, we as a society of gamers need to stop giving them our money on trust that they're going to give us a good game. Like, we need to make sure the game is good before we buy it, or it's just simple economics.
Mm-hmm. I think this initial sting is going to be enough of a slap in the face to scare some people, because losing out on that much money on refunds and stuff is insane.
Yeah, maybe Steam has solved the problem by offering refunds, because I know even like Ubisoft games, there's no people already pre-ordering Assassin's Creed, the Victorian England one, the one that's coming out. What's it called? The one that they showed at E3. People are already pre-ordering that. It's like, did you not remember how bad Unity was at launch? Stop.
Yeah, I heard it was unplayable.
Yeah, I just put it down for like 3 months, and then they patched it, and it was good again. Like, it's a great game now, but it sucked at launch.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't seem to find it. That's unfortunate. I'll find it after the show, and maybe I'll post it on the Facebook page if I get ambitious. But yeah, I really want to look that up. Now I'm curious, because like, is it the fact that it's just a smaller market, so it's like, who cares? I know there's a lot of pirating, so that could be a problem on PC. But the flip side of that coin, because like pirating would be the bad side of the coin. The good side of the coin is modding. Like, when people mod things on PC, it's awesome. And you don't get that on the consoles. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I will give credit for credit where it's due. Like, I'm glad that they removed it from Steam instead of continuing to sell like broken copies. But this is a problem that shouldn't have had to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it got a 5 out of 10. An Arkham game got a 5 out of 10 on Steam. That's insane.
And read the reviews. Like, they're terrible. People are really mad. They feel betrayed.
And it sucks because that's one team, right? One team is responsible for that PC port, right? Mm-hmm. One team. The rest of all the other teams, like art assets, the character development, the writing, Yeah, the 3D modeling, like all those guys nailed it, like knocked it out of the park. The game, when it's turned up, when it's not, well, in the screens it captures, is gorgeous. Like it's a gorgeous game. Even like on normal, it's beautiful, and the story is fucking crazy compelling. And it's very well written. It feels like the capstone on a third kind of iteration. Like Lord of the Rings, the third one, like I guess the book is probably this way too, but it didn't really feel like it. It was like, okay, so they did that thing. I guess that kind of has it. But this one's like thematically and the motif, all of it ties back in, and all these things that you thought were loose ends up coming in. It's very well written, and god damn, did they fuck that up though? Like, it's unplayable for most people. Ridiculous. I don't know. It just sucks. I hope those guys got like fired. Really, like they never get business again because that's absurd.
Right.
Ugh.
Gross. And yeah, some companies will just keep pushing release dates back when the game isn't ready. Blizzard does that. Nintendo does that. Like they're just like, oh, the game's not ready. We said 2015. It's gonna be 2016. I feel safer pre-ordering from them, but there's no incentive to because they're not offering me like stupid pre-order bonuses like pre-order the new World of Warcraft and get a plastic figurine, like, or whatever, right? Like there's no like pre-order the new Zelda and you'll get exclusive Epona saddle for your mount. Like they don't try and trick me into pre-ordering so it doesn't come up. Like I just feel safer with I don't know, this whole like trick me into buying something with something exclusive. It really rubs me the wrong way because it's like, what do you have to hide? Is it going to be a good game or not? Why are you making me get the Harley Quinn content? Like what's happening?
Yeah. And why couldn't that be added in? Like, you get to play as Robin, he's free. You get to play as Nightwing, he's free. Why is Harlequin any different? Yeah, it feels dirty. And was this EA? I think it's Warner Brothers, but
Rockstar.
Is it Rockstar or Rocksteady?
Rocksteady.
Yeah, Rocksteady released weekly behind the scenes. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, it's obviously not in the consumer's best interest, so stop offering it, and they won't until we stop buying it. So shit. But yeah, just if you have a PC, even consoles, that people were complaining about that. Although there was a lot of people too that were like, I haven't had any problems. So with a PC, you definitely like. Here's the game rankings. These are the aggregate scores, right? So not Metacritic where it's like yes or no. It's instead this is like taking an average basically. The PlayStation 4 is an 88.35%. Good. The Xbox One or the Xbone is 83.75. So a little bit less for some reason. And PC 52.5. That's like
it's a most failing people grade.
Ranking it. Yeah. You effed up, and it's purely because of that. Like that clearly would have been up near those other numbers. It's not like PC gamers were like, this game's horrible. I don't know why.
We're not fans of Batman games. Like no, all the other games did well on the PC. They had good ports on the PC. This one, not so much. And there's no way you could have foreseen it coming unless you were like, wait a minute, why are you so intent on me getting this pre-order in Harley Quinn?
And this is a AAA title. This isn't like an indie developer who, this is a...
Right, it's not like Buyer
Beware.
It's like a Kickstarter where you're like, oh, well, I knew going into it that the game might not ever come out or not come out very good.
Yeah, this is one of the best teams working on one of the best games of one of the most beloved series. Like, there's no excuse to overlook any aspect, but especially the biggest aspect. 1/3 of your market just went, or at least a third of like
potential market.
Yeah, dichotomous variables is gone. Like it's really jaded now, and is probably not going to pre-order. So it really sucks. But what do you think about this? There's another model that people have been using, and some people think is a better model. It's like this like extended alpha and beta phase where it kind of goes to private, then open, and then like a soft release date.
Do I have to pay $60 to get on the private alpha phase?
That's a good question. Because on games that are free to play, that makes sense. But what about? I mean, and what if it's a story? Like you're selling a story, like Batman. Once I'm done with the story, I'll probably be done with the game. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I've talked about that before. I know why developers do it. I don't want to pay $60 to bug test your game. Sorry, I'm just not like that Arc game that's supposed to be really good. I'm gonna wait until it's done, then I'll buy it. The H1Z1, like JT ended up buying me a copy because I was like, no, I'm not gonna play that game until it's done. I don't want to. Like, I understand why they do it, and the psychology behind it, and like sunk costs, and like I'll be more interested in it if I put money down. But I just they used to have to hire people to do that, and now they just
Yeah.
crowdsource it, and then they're gonna make me pay for it too? No.
Well, that's a good point. I don't know how to fix this besides, I mean, don't pre-order, I guess, pretty
Don't
much.
pre-order. Yeah, stop. I don't care what exclusive content is. Just stop. It's going to all come out anyway on the Game of the Year edition. That's going to come out a year later on the Steam Summer Sale. I'll get everything you got for pre-ordering Batman. I'll get it for $30 on the Steam Summer Sale for the Game of the Year edition. It's just it's a ploy to get us to put money down, and then they don't have to be responsible to make the game playable on release.
I don't think I could wait a year, man. Like on a game like this that I'm like, I know I'm gonna get this game. I know I'm gonna play it immediately.
Yeah, but can you wait a year for the Harley Quinn quest that's going to come out later?
Yeah, probably.
Because usually those pre-order bonuses end up being available later.
Yeah, and if they don't, if we bitch loud enough, they'll change that, I guess. Obviously, because people are bitching about Destiny's problem.
Yeah.
Of the DLC that you only get from drinking Red Bull.
Yeah.
Hell, people can bitch about that. So I guess so. Man. Well, yeah. I guess that's pretty much it. Just
kind of an angry episode, but we're enabling it, guys. Like, it's partly on us. We can't put it all on them. Like, businesses are going to respond to financial incentives the way humans respond to behavioral therapy. Like, we're going to do what's in our best interest.
What do you think? And this is a little off topic, but I'm just kind of curious about Batman. If this is the last one, I was talking to Amy about this. I was like, there's a certain like depression that I'm getting as I'm drawing close to the end of the game, because I know it's going to be the end of an experience, the end of an era. Like I was like, I kind of don't want to finish playing. Like I want to just leave it right here where there's still a little mystery waiting for me, you know, if I really want to put time into it. But she's convinced. She's like, oh, they'll make another one. And I'm like, I don't know. Will they?
Yeah, probably.
Like a whole new trilogy. But what if this is the end? Like, you know, what if they just shut down the franchise? Like, do you think, what do they do? Just reopen it like the movie studios do, or?
Yeah, like a reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see 20 years later, like new software, new consoles. They're like, let's go back to Batman. They're not going to stop making They're not going to stop making Batman games, right? Like this might be the end of the Arkham series, but there's going to be more Batman games. There's going to be more games using gameplay elements that were introduced in Arkham.
But this is the one, I hope so, because this is the one that nailed it. Like the other ones, every other Batman game, they've been making Batman games since the NES, and they sucked. They all sucked bad. This is the first one where I started playing.
When they make a new Batman game, they're not going to be like, okay, all those things that were cool about Arkham, let's not do that.
They might. Okay, maybe so. I just don't have as much. Maybe I'm cynical, but
I'm seeing Arkham elements show up in like other games though, right? Like Tomb Raider felt a lot like Batman Arkham City.
That's true.
So like they're not going to just throw away that stuff just because they're not making Arkham games anymore. Like everything we learned from Arkham, we're going to take smart game developers are going to keep poaching that.
I guess so. Well, I guess I'm just sad. Why did they only sign 3, man? They were like releasing these on
Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, Arkham Origins, and Arkham Knight.
Oh, Arkham Origins. That's right. Why do they say trilogy?
I don't know. Quadrilogy? There's no good word for a 4.
Was it Arkham Origins?
Arkham Origins. It's the one with Troy Baker as the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
It's one that came out just before this one.
That's right. Okay. Well, anyway. All right. I guess we can be done. Yeah, so everyone out there, I'm sorry if you bought it on PC. If not, this game is awesome. I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, but that's about it. Kevin Conroy, man, when's he going to stop being Batman? I can't.
Was he Batman for this one?
Yes, of course. Yeah, he sounds awesome. But till then, I don't know. I don't know who's going to play him next. Oh, but they made him kind of look like Ben Affleck. Ugh. Pisses me off.
They're getting ready for the new one?
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, this isn't on topic, so I guess we can move on to the feedback section.
All right, feedback.
Feedback section. You know what I'm not a fan of, David?
What's that?
iTunes. I'm not a fan of iTunes.
Why's that?
I'm just not. Oh, it's the worst. It's like bloatware is what most people call it, you know, where it's like it expands way past what you need. You're like, why are you doing all these things I don't want you to do?
Yeah,
and then updates. updates all the time, and it tries to give me, what's the thing it adds onto it? QuickTime. It's like, you want QuickTime too? I was like, no, QuickTime is a bad application. Why would I use that?
I
And
thought
they're
you were
like,
gonna
oh,
say you didn't like iTunes because we didn't get any new iTunes reviews.
yeah, it's their fault. We're probably getting them. They're just not recording them.
We did get some feedback from Paul on the Facebook group about our VR episode.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he says he talks about he developed prototypes for a previous employer using the Oculus DK1 and just kind of talking about his experience as a developer from the developer side.
Mm-hmm.
And talked about how part of the reason we're so close, you and I are close, is because we can game together. But that, I don't know, he just had like some cool insights on that. I'm not going to read the whole comment because it was pretty long, but just kind of talking about the technical aspects of virtual reality and how hard it is to kind of capture actual reality together.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, I remember this. Yeah, that's interesting. I really like that when our game developer friends jump in here. He seems to be jumping in more recently.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's always interesting. It's what I would have done in a different life.
Yes.
But
and the path not traveled.
Did you see my my quick rub in the face of the fact that League and Dota 2 are both becoming a bit more like Heroes of the Storm?
Yeah, you got some pushback on that.
I did you on, man. So salty. Oh, I love that guy, but man, like, and he's probably right. Like, he knows more than I do, but I feel like I've probably played more Heroes than him, but he's definitely played more. I believe he's a Dota 2 guy, so Dota 2 and League of Legends than I have. So it's like two specialists coming at each other. I don't know if they're who's right, but I hear the Dota 2 is like legit, you know, if you for MOBAs. But man, I just think I kind of feel like Heroes is. They reject the word MOBA over Blizzard, so I try to do that too, because I'm like, yeah, it is kind of a little bit of a different game. Same core mechanic, but they don't want to be stuck by the same conventions like item buying. And
I mean, part of it is it seems like it was designed for us because we literally made an episode about everything we would change about League of Legends that would make it more fun. And then Heroes came out and it's like, yeah, we did all those things that you suggested. So it's kind of hard not to love it because I know maybe League of Legends has things that people love about that we didn't get, but personally our tastes, we like the faster pace, we like the more team focus, we like the way that healing actually feels like you're healing and tanking actually feels like you're tanking. Like, we like the more differentiated roles, and I don't know, it's the stuff that people love about League of Legends, like last hit timing and jungling and things like that those don't appeal to me. Those aren't fun mechanics for me. So the fact that Heroes de-emphasizes that makes it a better game for me. Like, it is a better game overall. I think so, but that might just be because it's doing what I like in a game.
Yeah, very good point. Oh, another thing was that did you see that Rob in the Facebook page posted that Future of HoloLens games?
Mm-hmm.
That looked awesome. That's like what every kid dreams about, the side of the window, you know, out of a bus or a car. You're looking at and you're imagining a little guy running or a little war happening. That was really cool. That was a cool application of that, how we were kind of trying to figure out how HoloLens and virtual reality would be used differently. That's a cool application of that. So I'm excited by that, man. That will make, oh man, those car rides so much more entertaining.
So where can people go to leave us iTunes reviews or any kind of reviews?
They can go to the Game Theory Podcast at gmail.com. Send us an email with any questions or comments you might have. You can also go to our Stitcher page, our Libsyn page, which is our podcasting kind of person. A couple people have left.
Yeah.
But we're pretty bad about checking that because almost no one goes there. And when they do, it's like a weird burst that we get. It's just weird. Or the iTunes page or the Stitcher page, or any other ways that you get a hold of this. But those are the most likely we're going to see them.
Yeah.
Please, if you can, leave us an iTunes review, because those are, for some reason, they're super helpful. And a lot of people get their podcasts from iTunes. I don't, but a lot of people do. Big part of our market.
Right. And it definitely helps us get more visibility, which makes us happy. We get paid in ego, so the more people listening to us, the happier we are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And other than that, yeah, pretty much. Follow us on Twitter if you'd like. It's Game Theory Pod, at Game Theory Pod. See us there.
You can find us on facebook.com/groups/Game Theory Podcast if you want to join in. That seems to be the most active place for people to interact.
Yeah, for sure. We get a lot of activity there. So I just kind of picked up a couple of the bonuses, but a lot of funny stuff, a lot of interesting stuff. And then some, just just stuff where you're like, yeah, like the one that Tommy posted about. It says, "I miss nights like these," and it's like 4 people huddled around a glowing TV set, you know, and
Playing GoldenEye.
yeah, and I'm just like, oh man, I remember those days.
Those are
I
good
love
days.
that.
It's also where we are managing our book club for the summer. This month we're doing Chrono Trigger, so we'll have our final Chrono Trigger bonus episode sometime next week. So make sure you're finished by then, so you don't get anything spoiled, or just
Yes.
wait to listen to it until after you finish the game. But yeah, we're coming up to the end of June, so the game will be finished.
Very cool. All right. Well, I guess that probably wraps us up, doesn't it?
It does. So until next time, stop pre-ordering.
You're angry. You're an angry old man, David.
So mad.
Yeah, it screwed us, man. It really did. It got us this time, and I pre-ordered, so I'm with whoever out there also pre-ordered. But we gotta cut that out, even on our beloved franchises like Arkham. So sad, but
It is sad.
All right, but
even,
see you guys next week.
Side note: even when I pre-ordered Smash Brothers,
was it bad?
No, it was great, but karma like still bit me in the ass because I accidentally sent it to my parents' address. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna get this day of release, pre-order, baby, and it's like, nope, it's not even here. I had to go like hunt it down at a GameStop or a Best Buy or something.
All those reviews are pouring in. I hate that feeling, and you're like, oh god, they're all playing it.
They're having so much fun. So even in a time where it didn't like punish the industry to pre-order, I still personally suffered for my own. It's like karma, just like, no, stop pre-ordering.
All right. Well, that's what to take with you guys. So we'll see you next week.
Bye.